Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. So this is going to be a very quick intro. Hopefully I'm not going to waffle on too much, but essentially in this video what I'm doing is creating the formwork so that I can do the glass work for the hull extension. So the formwork is basically going to create the shape and everything for the hull extension, and then we've got a glass inside of it. And it'll make a lot more sense if you've never done anything like this before. It'll make a lot more sense as we go further and further into future episodes. Now we're in a race against time here because we're in North Queensland. We've got another tropical low. We've just had Cyclone Jasper go through Cairns. Those poor fellas, the poor people up there got quite a bit of water, a lot of flooding and everything. So they're just overcoming that now, and now we're preparing for yet another one only weeks later. So we've got another cyclone brewing off the coast, and we've basically got to get prepared for that. So I'm going to be lashing down the boat, getting it ready, get this, as secure as I possibly can at the very least, and hopefully, we can dodge a bullet. But they're telling us that the low is going to turn into a cyclone within the next day or two, and it's going to beeline towards the coast. So here we go. Anyway, hope you enjoy this video. I've talked a bit too long, haven't I? But anyway, hope you enjoy this video, and hope you get something from it. And yeah.
What I'm doing here is basically building the framework or the formwork, the mould, if you like, for the hull extension. It's going to come back. So I'm building it out of form ply. This is like 19mm form ply, pretty solid, pretty heavy stuff. It's not going to move, it's not going to warp, it's not going to change on me. And I'll show you how I've done it in a minute. I've basically screwed it all to the side of the boat. I'm not worried about screw holes or anything else because I can fix all that up later on. I've got to tab it into the boat anyway, so that'll all be sorted out. The rest of it is going to be glassed right through the boat. All the stringers are going to come all the way through the boat, so it forms a part of the original structure. Well, it extends through into the original structure, and we just basically extend it all, make it all part of the same piece, the same boat. There's no bolt on, there's no nothing, it's all glassed all the way through. So I'm just about to cut this remainder of this duckboard off with my recip saw, and I'm going to use two different plates. This one is a standard demolition blade, and this one here is your carbide teeth demolition blade. So I'll do it in real time. And we'll see if there's much of a difference in how much quicker the carbide teeth one is, or if it's just, a longevity thing that just lasts a lot longer and longer and longer and longer. On. Okay, this side, change it over. Face mask first. Overall, if it didn't stuff that up and go wiggly,
I think the carbide teeth would have won hands down, no doubt about that. It just seemed to, once it got that momentum going, just kept going. The other blade was still good, the demo blade, no dramas at all, but carbide teeth maybe just a little bit quicker. But I think once again it's the number of cuts that you can actually use it for that really makes it stand out. They just last and last and last. Hey guys, something that I didn't do is a bit of a mistake, was I didn't record myself putting that form ply into position. The form ply is exactly that. It's the form ply that forms the hull extension itself that I'm going to basically be creating the shape for my hull extension. And it's held up by little props that are underneath the boat, and it holds it hard up against the underside of the boat so that it follows the same lines as the original hull. So the ply basically follows the chines all the way through to the very edge of the boat to make it a true hull extension. So essentially what I've got here, guys, is you can see where I've finished the line, where I've finished sanding and grinding. I wanted to get all the way back, get rid of all of the flow coat, gel coat, wherever the laminating is going to go. I've still got a little bit to tidy up, a bit more work to do tomorrow, but I'm reasonably happy with what I've done today. As you can see, I'll explain it a little bit more, is basically where the that section over there is going to be our extension. So that is the formwork, and that's going to be, we're going to lay the glass all the way through. So basically all the way through here, it's going to come in 600 millimeters. It's going to be tabbed all the way through, laminated all the way through, right to wherever the new transom is going to be, where the outboards are going to be bolted on. See, the idea of that is basically as I bring each sheet of glass in, it's going to come in, it'll start to come in at between 50 and 100 millimeters, and then each layer, subsequent layer after that, is going to be overlapped another 100 millimeters. So there's going to be quite a few layers. Exact number I'm not exactly sure yet, probably about 12 layers for that section, and then the stringers will have to go back in. The stringers will be extended all the way through. Same with bulkheads and everything. This section of the transom will be replaced. It's not going to be part of the structure. It's going to be strong, but it's not going to be, realistically, it's not going to be 3 layers of thermolite. You know, it doesn't have to provide the structural integrity for everything, and that's why we're doing it all the way through, all of the glass all the way through, all of the stringers all the way through. Put the bulkheads in areas where they're needed to provide that support, to structural support, and then we lap the glass in all the way from the new transom all the way 600 millimeters inside the existing boat. So that's how we're going to get our strength. I'll show you that on the outside of the boat as well in a second. So we'll have it might make a bit more sense. But there's still a bit more work tomorrow. I've got to basically do a little bit more grinding. I hope to finish off the formwork and everything else to start laying glass the day after. So that'll mean that hopefully within 3 days, 2-3 days, I'll have the frame of the extension done, basically to the point where you know, I can start putting the support work in, put the stringers back in, put the transom in, all the thermolite and the FF360. I'm using FF360 in different areas. It's going to be like a hybrid. I'm not using thermolite everywhere, and I'll explain that a little bit more later, but the idea is to keep as much weight as I can down low in the boat. So the thermolite and heavy glass is going to be down low in the boat, and then I'm going to use lighter products up higher where it doesn't need that structural integrity, so to speak. Not as much anyway. So that's the plan. Let's go and have a look at the outside. Alright, so we're on the outside of the boat. What we've got here is the formwork that I've cut up to shape the hull extension to bring it out for the outboards. Obviously it's not fixed into position yet. It's still got to be all set. I've just cut it all up, getting it ready. I've cut sections of the transom out, left the top section in there to make sure that there's no movement in the hull of the boat. It gives me enough access to be able to laminate glass from here through inside the boat and to extend my stringers through inside the boat. So as opposed to having something bolted onto the outside of the transom, it's going to be glassed all the way through up inside, basically to where you should be able to see those old engine mounts there, those big lumpy chunky bits of timber there, or where the old sterndrive engine used to sit. They're the engine mounts. So that's basically where the glass is going to go all the way through from here, or wherever the transom is going to be. The end of it is going to go all the way through, and that's going to make it one piece, one big piece of boat. What do you call that? It's so it's not a bolt-on, it's not a pod, it's a hull extension. But there's, like I was saying before, there's still a lot more work to do. I've got to finish all this off, get it all right, get all the angles right, measure it like 1,000 times. And it's a little bit of a painful process. There's no doubt about that. Making sure everything's absolutely spot on and getting everything into position, getting the measurements right off of the original transom, getting the angle of the transom right, make sure that's right. I've basically followed the original angle. I made a template up for that and got that sorted out. I've beveled down this edge here. Bevel down this edge here so that when the glass comes in, it can lay down onto this board, which again, it's going to be the template, it's going to be the mould, and the glass can come all the way through from in here, all the way through to here and then up, and lock it all in. It's going to come up the sides as well, all the way. So there we have it. A lot of work to do, Robbie. But I'm done for today. I'm going to go and have a beverage or two, I think. Enjoy myself a little bit, just try and relax, have a bit of a think. Something that I probably should mention again is the resin that I'm using here is going to be vinyl ester resin all the way through for this section anyway. Basically for the structural integrity of the vinyl ester, and there's other reasons behind it, and I'll go into that into a lot more depth later on when I talk about the resins, why I'm using vinyl ester resin over polyester resin for its chemical properties, its structural properties, and other things that I don't understand. People who are a lot smarter than me sit down and work out this thing out, chemical chains and all that kind of stuff. Nah, just tell me what it'll be used, what's the best, and then that's where we're going with that. But I think I'm pretty happy with it. I'm pretty happy with where we've got, what we're doing, and the progress that we've made today. So, back tomorrow.